When I think about tattoos, I think there are sometimes a bit of regression. What I mean with that? I mean that sometimes when I see someone that, if you see someone that doesn't have a lot of culture, artistic culture and so on, and they maybe don't have enough money or whatever, and so you see people with crap on their bodies, well, you think, well, maybe it's not their fault. But when you see someone, and it happens, people that are highly educated, maybe even artists, maybe even people that are doing art every day with some crap on their body, you think, what happened there? And I think I understand what happened, because I'm pretty sure it happened to me too. During the 90s, at least in Italy, tattoos were just tribal. If you were thinking about tattoos were just tribals. And it has to do with the familiarity. When you're familiar with something, it's like, I don't know, the song that you listen on the radio, you don't like it. But then you listen that song over and over and over again. You listen that song at the mall, at the beach, and wherever. And suddenly you start liking that song. And maybe you start singing that song because it's familiar. So the same happened with the tattoo. Tattoos in Italy were tribals. So after you see tribals on magazines, tribals on people, tribals everywhere, everything was tribalized, even really everything. So it became familiar, and people thought, okay, I want a tattoo. What do you want? A tribal, of course. A tattoo, it's a tribal. And I got a tribal too. Why? I was doing comics, I was doing illustration, but I was still stuck in that idea that the tattoo was just tribal, must be a tribal. Do you remember George Clooney in Sunset to Dawn from Tarantino? How many people wanted the same tribal or something similar with a point coming out from your neck? A lot of people, because it was familiar, it looked cool, so everybody wanted. And yeah, I wanted a tribal too. In my mind, there was a wall that was dividing visual arts from tattooing. Tattooing was something and visual art was something else. It took a few years before I understood that I could do the same thing that I was doing on paper, on skin. And by the way, I got a tribal too. Now I got it removed, I got another tattoo, but anyway, I got a tribal. And it was a shitty tribal. Really, it was bad. But for me, the most important thing was the meaning behind. Not even the meaning, the more important thing was to have the tribal. Yeah, I have a full sleeve with a tribal. Wow, it's amazing. And during the 90s in Italy, wow, that was cool. Well, a lot of people were making jokes about me, and they were right. I understood later, because to me it was more important the meaning, the fact that I had a tattoo, and not how good it was, how it was flowing with my body. It was a crap. It was a crappy tribal anyway. But yeah, it happened to me too. So when you think about your tattoo, especially if you want to get a new tattoo or a tattoo, think about that. Think about something beautiful, something unique that a great tattoo artist can design for you, something that will stand the test of time. Don't be stuck with the idea that I just want a tattoo, because the risk is that you will regret it. So yeah, look for a great tattoo artist that is able to create, to design something especially for you that flows with your body, that is able to translate your ideas, your concept in an amazing picture. Because if you do the tattoo just for the idea of having a tattoo, sooner or later you will regret it. I did it, so don't do the same that I did.